Hi friends, me again. So in this video, I wanted to share with you my perspectives on responding versus reacting. And in some of the conversations that I've had recently, especially with someone that has known me, since I was 13 years old, so 26 years, we were able to reconnect and have just a beautiful, open, and just very honest and vulnerable conversation. And one of the things that we were talking about was responding versus reacting. Now, the difference for me is that a response is, for lack of a better way of saying it, a much more neutral way of receiving stimulus, of it just kind of flowing through. There's no real jarring to it, versus a reaction. And for me, at this moment, a reaction comes from a place of a trigger. A trigger is an emotional response, a mental response, or a trauma that was already there before said event had occurred. So an example can be when a loved one just knows how to push your buttons and says the things that just triggers the hell out of you and just gets you so angry, and just inside maybe like all these scenarios start to happen and things that you want to say to them, or like maybe you're cussing them out in your head. And many times the response is, you made me feel this way. When you said this, you made me feel this way. And from my experiences, again, whether from ancient Lomi Lomi or Zen Buddhism or other forms of spirituality or books that I've read or listened to, audiobooks, that response or reaction is mine. That person didn't make me feel it, because if they did, from my perspective, then I have given them that control. That then means for me to be happy, they need to change. And if they don't, then I am unhappy until they say so. And for me, I don't really know anyone that really wants to live a life that way, that their happiness is based off of someone else's decisions, control, and things like that. And so when that reaction comes up, and as I mentioned in my other videos, allowing yourself to feel it, allowing yourself to give it the space to express itself, etc., etc., etc. One of the other things that I do when I really have a strong reaction to something, and when I recognize that that was a trigger, is on one level or one kauna, and as I've explained that in other videos, that reaction has nothing to do with that person or that situation on one level. Of course, there's many different kinds of scenarios. Like if I get punched in the face, it's like, okay, my pain, on one level has nothing to do with you. It kind of does. No, not kind of, it does, because you just punched me in the face. So again, every situation is different. But in situations where there is a really big emotional response, that trigger, that emotion was already there before, again, this or that said event happened, or what that word that was said to me, or that sentence that was said to me. So what I do is then say, okay, I have felt this before. When were the times that I have felt this? And allowing those memories to flow through or to come up. When were all the times that I had this kind of response or this kind of trigger, this kind of reaction come through? And the more that I'm able to do that, the more that I'm recognize the possible patterns of when they resurface. And again, by allowing them to speak through and express themselves, then more can be revealed to us. At the same time, one of the questions that I ask myself is, okay, if I felt this person did this to me, then where have I done that to someone else? And where have I done that to myself? Because if I can recognize it externally, it must exist internally. Again, one possibility of one way of looking at things. So by taking that self-responsibility, that self-ownership, I am drawing back my power that a part of me may have thought, I'm giving that away. Again, because you made me feel this way. So now I've just given all my power to that person. So I now recall that power back and say, okay, let me take some self-ownership because the feeling that is coming up within me is mine. That, again, one level has nothing to do with them. So by asking myself, where have I experienced this before? And allowing those moments to resurface, and then asking, where have I done that to someone else or to others? And where do I do that to myself? Where do I say nasty things to myself? Or, where do I ignore myself? Or where do I, whatever it is may be that is bringing up this trigger or this reaction? So I wanted to share a little bit of that with you because as everything is happening right now, it has just been such a beautiful opportunity to go inwards, to look at myself, my patterns, my ways of thinking, my beliefs, what has served me, what doesn't serve me any longer, and to thank those parts of myself that no longer serve me. So I wanted to share that with you. If anything doesn't make sense, let me know. I'm more than happy to clarify. I hope you're all doing really, really well, staying safe and healthy, and I'm sending you all much love. And until next time.